Want to know what Europe does for you? Welcome to the European Parliamentary Research Service podcast on promoting European culture.
Cultural diversity and shared cultural heritage are at the heart of the European project.
But what is the EU doing to promote European culture and help the arts and creative industries overcome the challenges posed by linguistic fragmentation, digitalisation and global competition? Stay with us.
Shakespeare, Fellini, Bach, Gaudi, what do all these names have in common?
Well, they've all contributed to shape our common yet diverse European culture. But what is culture? Some say it's the glue that holds communities together, providing a sense of belonging and expressing shared values.
In the context of EU policy, culture covers cultural heritage such as works of art and heritage sites, performing arts such as music, theatre and ballet, traditions, contemporary art creations, and cultural and creative industries which encompass a wide variety of sectors from publishing, audiovisual media and video games to design and fashion.
Cultural diversity lies at the very heart of the European project, and there is wide recognition of the sector's potential for promoting social cohesion, unity and tolerance, and of its valuable economic role.
Nearly 8.5 million people in the EU work in this sector, and its museums, monuments and cultural heritage sites attract millions of tourists from all over the world every year.
And these are tourists who not only walk around and take pictures, but also eat in restaurants, sleep in hotels, rent cars and buy Europe's many luxury goods and clothes.
EU governments and institutions also use cultural attractiveness and cultural diplomacy as an instrument of soft power, helping promote peaceful international relations and economic growth worldwide.
However, there are barriers to the development of Europe's cultural potential, notably linguistic diversity, fragmentation, and different financial mechanisms across the EU. Furthermore, EU investment to promote European culture does not yet match the levels of the US or China.
The EU's cultural and creative industry also faces challenge from digital technologies and global competition, particularly from the American audiovisual industry, which floods the European market with its blockbuster films and series.
As has been the case with so many industries, the digital shift has strongly impacted culture in its creative processes, business and consumption models.
According to one study, between 2008 and 2011, the top 5 European markets, that is France, Germany, Italy, Spain and the UK, lost 200,000 jobs and €20 billion worth in added value due to digital piracy.
So what is the EU doing to protect European culture? Stay with us.
Although the EU doesn't have any direct competence in culture, it is strongly committed to ensuring that culture is mainstreamed in all policy areas, with a special focus on the protection of cultural heritage and cultural diversity, which are key elements in cultural identity and expression.
And so, in its 2007 European Agenda for Culture, the EU defined 3 strategic objectives: cultural diversity and intercultural dialogue, culture as a catalyst for creativity, and cultural diplomacy.
To realise these ambitions, the Creative Europe programme, which funds cultural initiatives, was allocated a budget of nearly €1.5 billion to be spent from 2014 to 2020, with over half this amount to support media products such as films, documentaries and video games.
But cultural aspects are also taken into account in other funding programmes, such as the Structural Investment Funds, the Horizon 2020 Research Programme and the Connecting Europe Facility.
Understanding the importance of new technologies, particularly digital ones for the creative industries, the European Commission has been pushing for a true European digital single market.
One which would encourage fair conditions of access to online services for individuals and businesses, boost competitiveness and fair competition, and enhance the growth of the digital economy, all vital issues for creators, artists and users alike.
To support the music sector and give talented musicians a better chance to succeed, the European Parliament proposed the Music Moves Europe initiative, but the EU has adopted many other initiatives in recent years. Let's have a look.
To facilitate access to culture and cultural diversity, the EU passed new laws on the portability of online content services to ensure that European citizens can continue to watch their favourite series or listen to their preferred music while travelling in the EU for business or holidays.
And the EU is working on new rules that will force the likes of Netflix and Amazon to have at least 30% of European content in their catalogues.
With all the events organised around the European Year of Cultural Heritage in 2018, cultural heritage in Europe received a strong push, but there was much more happening last year.
There was. In May 2018, the Commission adopted a new European Agenda for Culture, which aims at harnessing the power of culture and cultural diversity for social cohesion, supporting jobs and growth in creative industries, and strengthening the international dimension of culture and cultural relations.
In concrete terms, this translates into specific actions such as initiatives to promote cultural inclusion and urban regeneration, enhancing the mobility of artists and cultural professionals, developing better synergies between culture and education, and ensuring that artists and creators can live off their work. Now, how is the EU going to finance all these?
Well, the good news is that the new EU budget for the 2021 to 2027 period will provide more money for culture than the previous budget, a total of €1.8 billion, and it's not only about a bigger budget.
It's also about increased flexibility and simplified procedures to make it easier for cultural agents, whether big or small, to continue creating art, films, dance performances and music that binds us all together as Europeans.
You're listening to European Parliamentary Research Service podcasts.